So today we are making a video on the AcorOS. So here is the boot menu. So there are options available in the boot menus like recovery options. Let's get back. Here is the utilities. So AcorOS with localization support and the i386. So this is a live boot. So let me quickly boot it in the live boot. I'm running it on a virtual machine which is VMware with 60 GB of hard disk, 8 GB of RAM, and my CPU is i5-1240p. So I tried to boot it in the when I tried to boot it first time, it took like maybe 3 or 4 minutes to load up the desktop layout. So let's see how much of time it consumes right now. So there will be mistakes in the video, not by the Linux distro. There will be a spelling mistakes and misspeaking of me. So I'm going to keep everything raw. I'm not going to trim or do anything throughout the video. I'm going to give the best content, so that's the reason I'm going to put the raw video as possible so you can see the exact timings and all those things. I'm just going to boot I'm just going to trim the boot part only, so it will be consuming like 2 or 3 minutes, so I don't want to make it boring. So I'm just going to trim that part, and I'm going to keep the rest of the video as raw as, because I want to give the best content. So there will be mistakes sometimes, so try to ignore that, or else you can just let me know in the comment section. So let's wait and see how much of time it consumes to load up the desktop layout. So here is the desktop. It took almost 3 to 4 minutes to load up the desktop. So we need to change the display settings and check all the task manager, system resources, all those things. So this is a LXQT desktop environment. So let's first see the task manager, and I'm going to change the display settings later. So here it is, QPS. So here is the CPU, which is almost this percentage. Memory is almost 505 MB, cached at 1587 MB, buffer 2 MB, and my total memory is 8 GB, which I already mentioned, and uptime is almost 3 minutes. So here are all the processes running right now. So I didn't open any of the applications, or I didn't even change the display settings. So you get all those base resources which consumes at the startup. So these are all the resources. So I'm going to close this thing. Let me change the display settings. Let's go to the preference, LXQT settings, and let's change the monitor settings. So my monitor is 1920 into 1080 with a 16:9 ratio. I'm going to apply those, save it. So here is additional refresh rate. My monitor is 165 Hz, but you get 60 Hz in the Linux. So let's close it. So let's open the internet, Firefox web browser. So the browser should be taking like maybe 15 to 20 seconds to boot or start up. So again, this is a virtual machine. So whenever you are trying a new Linux distro or a new operating system, you always go better with the live boot, or else you can choose the virtualization. Because if you want to test some Linux distro, it's better to test in a live boot or the virtual machines. So if you find any bugs or anything like that, you can just reboot the system, or else you can just install it on the virtual disk and delete the virtual disk later. So let's check the about of the browser. You get 115.11 OESR or 0 ASR. So let's type in about support. So this will grab the information and the browser information also. So you can just pause the video and read everything on your own. So here are some of the information. So I'm not going to read everything because it's going to make a video lengthy. So here are some monitor resolution, window protocol X11, desktop environment LXQT. So it's going to take a lot of time when I read. So you can just pause the video and read everything on your own, because I don't want to make a video lengthy. Usually if I show basic features and important things, it's going to make 20 minutes video. So that's the reason I'm going to make short video as possible. So let's go to the official website. So before that, let's here is the installer. So you don't need to worry about the installer. Let me type in AcorOS. So I downloaded it from the source website. I'm using a VPN, so that's the reason it says some random language. So the first link is the ISO file. So there is some random language in order to see all those things. So let's see whether we have some official website or not. So there is an official website here. So to be honest, I downloaded the ISO file from the SourceForge. So when I typed AcorOS, I found it on the DistroWatch waiting list page. So when I clicked on it, it directly took to the SourceForge. So there is a website. So there is some different language. In order to change the language, you need to type in Google Translate. Let me show you that. Click on Google Translate. First, let's change the language because of a VPN. Choose the link. Go to the websites. Copy the link. Paste it in here. And click enter. Let me click it. So it's going to take a few seconds and it's going to translate in the English. So it's a Portuguese Brazil. So mind blown, a blog about philosophy. So hello world, welcome to the WordPress. So this is something. So we don't have anything here. I thought there is some website or something like that, but you don't get anything here, just WordPress, nothing. So let's close it. Let's copy the SourceForge website, copy, and let's try to translate this. Paste. Let me click it once again. So we should be seeing all those in English language, so we can read something here. So it looks like it's based on a Debian Stable. So it didn't translate. Let's try to translate. Let me go up. So I can't translate, but we can copy the translation, and so it didn't change to English. So we need to just copy this thing and read it in the Google Translate. Let's go to the text. Let me paste it here. So we should be seeing the AcorOS, a Linux distribution based on Debian Stable. Intuitive and stable Linux experience. Choose from multiple desktops. Take advantage of Debian Stability and easily customize Discover Linux. So as you can see, you can read everything here. So that was the some of the information there. So it's based on Debian. So here you get the ISO file, which is AcorOS 6.0. So here you have the LXQT. You can go with the folder here, or you can just directly download from here. So there will be some other desktop environments available, as you can see here. So here is some of the booting process or the installations and all those things. You can just check it out in their SourceForge, or I'm going to show all those things in this video also, so you don't need to worry about that. So let's first download the ISO file. So here is some of the information. You can just copy the information and write on your own. So LXQT, XFCE, OpenBox, Cinnamon. So there are desktop environments available. I choose the LXQT i386. So there is also 64-bit. So I downloaded directly from the upside page from here. So the latest ISO file will be available here. So if you want, you can just check other desktop environments. It's clearly up to you. So 8 downloads from the XFC and LXQT for 9 downloads. So that was the some information about the distro. So let's open the installer and see what we get in the installation. So we need to wait for a few seconds to start up the installer. So here you get the Calamares installer. Let's check the about. So it's a 3.2.61 for AcorOS. So again, this is same installation thing. There is nothing different or anything complicated here. I'm just going to show you the process in a quick way. So first, language selection. Second, the location. You can choose the map or you can choose the drop down menu. The system language will be set to American English, United States. If you want, you can customize. There are plenty of things available here. The numbers and date locales will be set to American English, United States. Same thing, you can customize. I'm going to keep it default. Click on next. Here you need to choose your keyboard. I'm choosing the Dell. So default will be available here. For some reason it doesn't show it's a Dell for me, but I'm choosing the Dell keyboard. Click on next. So here you will be having the two options, which is erase disk and manual partitioning. First you need to choose your hard disk. So again, if you get all the information, if you know this Linux distro and you're trying to install it on your main PC or work PC, try to get all the information before installing any type of Linux distro. Don't just go with my video or some other's video and blindly install any type of distros, because you need to get all the information on your own, because it's your PC. You need to be responsible for that. So if you don't know how to install the Linux distro, there are tutorials in the YouTube to install the Linux distros on the virtual disk or a main disk. So I always recommend to install on the virtual disk first. If you're satisfied, then go with the main disk or a work PC. So I already made a lot of videos, like a 3000 videos in my channel, but I don't really know how to I'm sorry. So I forgot where in which Linux distro I installed on the hard disk or a virtual disk, because I made almost 3000 videos. It's very hard to point out in which video I installed those type of Linux distro in the hard disk or a virtual disk. So that's the reason it's better to check other channels, like a 5 to 6 channels, get all the information of installation and then go with the installation if you want. So this is a dual partitioning or a dual boot option, or this is a single boot or a single operating system. So basically it's going to delete everything which is available in this hard disk, and it's going to install the AcorOS on those hard disk. If you choose the manual partitioning, it will be having a partition. You need to install in that partition. If you want, you should be having options of 2 operating systems. So if everything is good, you need to go with the encryption. If you want, you can provide the password, which should be same in both the boxes. If you don't want, you can choose the unchecked. And here is the bootloader location. If you want default, you can go with the master boot record or else system partitions, or else you can do that later. It's clearly up to you. After doing all those things, you should be getting the users. So you need to type in your username, password, computer name, and all those things which should be remembered and which should be useful later. So write it down in the notes app in the phone, so you should be not forgetting your password. So let me type in random things. So 9 to file next, unboxing, computer name, 9 to file next, password, I'm choosing the simple password. Always give the best password. If you need require strong passwords, you need to check this, log in automatically without asking for the password. So after clicking everything is good, you should be seeing the tick mark beside the boxes. If anything is wrong, you should be seeing like this, into mark or the cross mark. Click on next. So here is the summary of whatever you choose in the previous installation steps. So if everything is good, click on the install. It's going to take like a 20 to 25 minutes, depends on your PC. It should be more or less 20 to 25 minutes. So it's going to be installed on the whatever you choose, maybe live boot, not the live boot. When you choose the installation, it should be installed on the virtual disk or a main disk, whatever you choose for your hard disk there in the installation. So that was the installation process. I don't want to install because I need to make another video, so I'm going to close that. So the system resources will be 300 MB or 400 MB more or less when you install on the hard disk. So it will be less RAM consuming because right now it's running on the RAM, so there will be 300-400 MB difference. Other than that, there will be not a major difference. So it will be depending on what desktop environment you downloaded. If you downloaded XFCE, it should be like a less. If you downloaded some other desktop environment which consumes a bit of resources, so it will be more there. So it will be depending on the PCs and whether you installed it on the live boot or maybe the hard disk or virtual disk like that. So till now there was no lag or anything, there is no crash or anything, everything is working fine. That's pretty good work. So here is the terminal version. Let me type in some commands to get some of the distro information. inxi. So here is the CPU, kernel, storage, all those information. Just pause the video and read everything on your own. inxi-b. inxi-G. inxi-F. cat /etc/issue. Let's try the neofetch. Here is the neofetch. inxi-sv8. So this is the command which will grab complete distro information. So you got all the distro information here. Let's try the htop. So you pretty much pre-installed, you get all the pre-installed commands already from here, so you don't need to worry about that. You just need to type in some commands and you should be getting all the information here. So we pretty much covered all the basic features. Let's check the desktop wallpapers. So there are plenty of wallpapers available here. So you can choose, you can customize, or else you can add it on your own. So let me choose this wallpaper. Let's click on apply. So I'm going to choose this wallpaper. Here is a slideshow, advanced, general. In advanced, you can add the folders. Let's open the tuner file manager. No, it's not a tuner file manager because it's not XFCE. So you get the Pacman FM Qt version 1.2.1. So here are the applications. So I'm going to show the applications later. First, let's check the device, network. So there was a bit of lag for some reason. I don't think I can close this application. So there is a lag. So let's go to the desktop, user home, computer. Here is the file system. You can go check all those things if you want. Kernel, you can customize, show hidden, split view, sorting, view like a thumb views. You can all customize on your own, so there is nothing new here. So let's see what are the applications we get in the default. So in the accessories, you get all those applications. On the games, you get a few games here. On the graphics, you get the GIMP, LX Image, LibreOffice. In the internet, you get the Thunderbird and Firefox and some other applications. In the office, you get LibreOffice, QPDF View and other packages software. Sound and video, you get the VLC, Pulse. On the system, you get all those other applications. Here are some LXQT settings and the reference and about LXQT 1.2.0. So let me open the first the task manager to see how much of resources it consumed. It's almost like 22 minutes. Let's see. CPU, Here is the memory, which is 648 MB. So these are all the resources. Let me show you. So I'm going to do the stress test. The people who don't know about stress test in my channel is so it's basically like opening like a 15 to 20 applications which consumes a bit of resources to see whether the Linux distro will handle the stress test or else it will crash, or it will be having some errors like unexpected stopping or some bugs like that. So in order to do this type of test, we need to open like a 15 to 20 applications. So if we find any bugs or crashes or like not responding and all those things, warnings or some pop-ups, you can consider whether to use this type of Linux distros or not. So you can't only judge on that thing, you should be judging on also the whether you downloaded the stable ISO file or the beta version or development version, and also whether the it is consuming a lot of resources when we are using general applications or else we in idle mode. So you should all consider all the factors, then you can judge whether to use those Linux distro or not, or else you can download the previous version which will be stable, or else you need to wait for the new releases when a new versions comes. But this ISO file is basically a stable ISO file, so we need to find. So it's almost like a 24 minutes. I didn't find any bugs or anything till now. So let me do the stress test by opening all the applications. On the accessories, let's open. So there is nothing here, just open text editor. On the games, you don't need anything. Let's open GIMP because it consumes a bit of resource. Let's even open the LibreOffice. View PDF view, packages, software. So you get the basic applications in the AcorOS. So we need like a Blender or Krita, something like applications which consumes a bit of resource. So you can put a lot of stress on the Linux distro, and we can find whether it will handle properly or it will be having some errors or issues like that. So till now everything is working smoothly. There was no lag or anything like that. So it was pretty much good. And there is there you can see there will like a black and white marks. So that's some basic issues. So as you can see the taskbar properly not working. So this is the test I'll do always to get the best information. So we are back with the taskbar, and here you can see there is still not properly loaded. So this is the reason I will be doing stress test, because you can find whether this distro will handle the day-to-day task, because a normal user will be opening like a 5 to 6 applications with a 2 GB of RAM. So me having 8 GB of RAM and I have like a 1240p CPU, and I still face this type of issues. So that's the reason I will be doing this type of test, which will help a normal user who has like a 2 GB or 3 GB of RAM. So that's way we can judge to use this type of Linux distros or not. So by opening just few applications, it in the taskbar you can see there is like a black background or something like covering on the applications names. So let's go to the QPS or the task manager, and you can see there is a lot of lag and you can't even properly see anything here. So it's like a faded things, or like applications are highlighting on something. There is a LibreOffice on top of the task manager, as you can properly see here. So I wish you will be seeing in the recording also. So there is a LibreOffice on the task manager. So this is the reason I will be doing this type of test. So some people doesn't want to show all those things. I want to properly show this type of things. So a normal user doesn't want to suffer all this type of things. He can just wait for the new versions, or just you can download the stable version. So these are all the resources running right now, and there is a lag and freeze on the screen. So it completely froze here, showing the live graphics. So as you can see, there is like some texts are missing here. So it's clearly up to you whether to use this Linux distro or not. I'm not going to recommend, because as you can see, if I hover over the taskbar, it's properly showing, but if not, you should be seeing just a black taskbar. And it went back again. I need to move the cursor so you can properly see. If I move back again, it will be showing all the black things again. So that's the reason I say always test it in the live boot, then go with the installation in the virtual disk and go with the main PC, or else you can just watch my videos or watch other channels who made latest videos. I don't only recommend my videos, I can recommend others viewers too. So you can watch a lot of videos, like 5 to 6 videos of that specific Linux distro, and then go with the installation. Just wait for like 5 to 6 days. As soon as whatever the Linux is released, you need to wait for 5 to 6 days or in a week, because a lot of testers will be testing those type of Linux distros. It's better to watch those people's videos and then go with the installing on your PCs after you're satisfied. So I'm going to check all the applications, and I'm going to end the video, because there is no point to make this video lengthy, because we already saw all the issues here. So there is no point to make a complete video. So here is the GIMP version, and I can't even properly close here, so let me close it from the file. So here are some of the updates, which are 377. So it should be like maybe a 1 GB or 2 GB. There are 754 updates selected here. Let me close that, and as you can see, there is lot of issues on the screen. So we already saw the file manager. I don't think I can make a video like this, because it's pretty much covered everything. So let's try to complete the video. So packages 43.0, let me close it. So here is the software manager. Let's check the update or the about software 43.5. So it's still loading updates. So we didn't open that much of applications, we just opened some of the applications which comes with Mac desktop environment, and some applications from the Linux distro, or the basic applications like a GIMP and a VLC media player. These are all some bit of less resource consuming apps, but GIMP will consume a bit of higher. So other than that, everything is light. So I'm going to end the video, I guess, because there is nothing working, as you can see. I hope the recording is completely capturing all those things. So I'm going to close the virtual machine here. So there is another video available in my channel, which is other Linux distros, because I'll be posting 2 videos daily. So if you want to watch that video, you can watch it, and if you want to consider subscribing, you can subscribe to my channel, or else you can just watch my channel and check other channels. I don't have any issue with this. So I'm going to close the virtual machine and end the video here. Again, thanks for watching. Peace out. And my final thoughts, I forgot to mention my final thoughts. As you can clearly see, there is nothing properly running, so I don't even recommend this type of Linux distro. If you're a distro hopper, you can just test it on the virtual machine and try to experience all those things. And do let me know in the comment section, so it will help me and others also. So I'm going to end this video here. Thanks for watching. Peace out.